Hey everybody, this is Mr. Storm. In this video, we are going to create a life calculator. Now, if you're not sure what one of these are, it's basically, you can find these quizzes all over online, or I don't know, maybe back in elementary school you created some of these. This can be any kind of life event, like the day you're going to get married, or what's your lucky number, or really anything you want, right? We're just going to throw some numbers at here, allow the user to enter information about themselves, and then it'll output a number that that can be used in any fun way you want. I'm going to create like just a lucky number calculator. But again, you can do all kinds of stuff like, what's the day, or, how many days do you have left to live, or, just really anything. We're going to use math to produce this number, but the operation doesn't necessarily have to make sense. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Right now, really all we're trying to do is just practice the skills that we learned last week and the week before, and really just practice the stuff that we learned this week, specifically being able to use different data types in Java. Okay. Now, before we really get started, if I sound a bit nasally, I'm a bit sick, so I'm at home. I'm working from home today, so I figured I'd record some videos for you guys. Okay. So, first thing, I know we're going to bring in some input from our user, so let's go ahead and just bring in our, not umport, import.java, or no, not, it's just import java dot util scanner. There we go. So we'll be able to use our scanner class whenever we get in there. All right. And then at the top of the program, I'm going to put Mr. Storm, and this is going to be lucky number generator. Okay. Now let's get into the variables. Now I'm going to bring in, let's say, I'm going to bring in some data about my user. First, I'm going to bring in a string, and I'm going to just basically have it be their name. I want to know the user's name. And then I'm going to have a bunch of ints, some integers. I also want to use a double. So let's declare my integers first. Now remember, integers are whole numbers. So these are going to be numbers that have to be whole numbers. So I'm going to do something like age, right? Everybody knows that age is a whole number, unless you're, I'm 3.5, right? Okay, so weight, we'll do weight as a whole number, because most people don't say, I'm 137.5 pounds, right? So it's usually a whole number. And then let's capture their gender as a number as well. We'll give them some options, and they can choose between the options we give them. And then for our double variables, let's see, height is something that we can use as a double. So 0D. What else? Shoe size, 0D. I think that's enough variables, actually. But here's one thing I might want to do. I am going to need a variable that stores the output of their lucky number. And because I'm using some doubles and some integers mixed in, and we're going to be doing some math with these, I think it's best if my output number is a double as well. We'll call this lucky. That way, if we do some math and stuff, and it should actually turn out to be, if it has a decimal, then it'll be fine to be stored inside of this this lucky number thing. I'm not sure why I have an error there. Yeah, that is a comma. Oh, well, whatever. Replit seems to be having an issue updating its error system. All right. And then in this section, I'm going to basically capture all of the data. Something's going on there too. Yeah, it's at the end there, bud. Oh, well, whatever. It'll work itself out, I guess. All right. Okay, so down here we're going to select or we're going to get input from the user. All right. So we need to create our scanner reader equals new scanner system.in. Okay. And then let's just do system.out.print line. Let's say, welcome to the lucky number generator. Okay. Now we need to start asking them questions. So first off is pretty easy. System.out.print line. Actually, we're going to use print for this. This is exactly the same as what we did last week. So please enter your name, and then we will bring that in. Name equals reader.next. Oh, hold on. Now, because we're bringing in a string, right? This is a string variable. Because we're bringing in a string, we actually can just use the .next like we did last week. But on this next one, .out.print, we're going to want to bring in their gender. What is your gender? And we're going to say 1 for female, 2 for male, 3 for non-binary. Okay, so we're giving them instructions on how to enter the data. All right, so now we're going to be accepting either 1, 2, or 3. Those are all integers. It's an integer variable that we're bringing in for gender. So in order to read that data properly and be able to do some math with it later, we're going to use the reader, but we're going to say next int, just like that. So it doesn't assume it's getting a string. It knows that it's getting an integer. And the next integer that gets entered, that's what's going to go into the gender variable. Okay, cool. Now the rest of these we can just do pretty quickly. System.out.print. How old are you? That's pretty easy. And so we can say age equals reader.next int, because that's also an integer. Now, if you're wondering, hey, this feels a lot like the program that we built last week, it kind of is. But this is just showing you a different way to use these things and how to bring in different data types. Plus, you're getting practice using these foundational skills that we're going to be using for almost every project. Coming up soon, I'm not going to be explaining exactly how to do everything as I have been. Oh, this probably needs some instruction. So how tall are you? Now, most people would say like 6'4", and they would type it out 6'4", or 5'2", or whatever, right? So we would probably want to give them like an example of how to enter it. So we'll say EX 5'9", right? So they can see, oh, I have to use decimals, right? Okay, anyway, yeah, I'm probably not going to be explaining everything as I go from now on. So, it's good to practice this stuff while we can. Reader.next, and this is a double. So next double. Okay. All right, let's see. Age, height. Let's do weight. System.out.print. How much do you weigh? And this is an integer, so weight equals reader.next int. Okay. And then I think the last thing is shoe size, right? Yep, that's it. So system.out.print. Let's say, what is your shoe size? And then we'll give them an example as well. EX, let's say you have an 11.5, right? Okay. All right. And then so this would be shoe equals reader.next double. Okay, perfect. So now, let's close our reader while I'm thinking about it. All right. So now we have all of the variables are going to be full of data, whatever data the user wants to enter. And we can use that information to generate their lucky number. So it'll be different for every person. Every person will have a different lucky number. So let's just play around with this a little bit. Calculation. All right, so let's say we take their age and we're going to add 10 to it. So we can do age equals age plus 10, but we can also use that shortcut that I showed you in the lesson and just say plus equals 10. And that would mean whatever they typed in the age variable, we're going to add 10 to it. Let's see. Insert. Oh, yeah. Replit is being very weird with its debugging stuff. There's a semicolon there. So it doesn't. Yeah, that error shouldn't be there. All right. Let's say with the weight, we'll do, let's take 100 pounds off. Minus equals 100 pounds. So no matter how much they weigh, we're going to take off 100 pounds. And then let's time their height by their shoe size. Height times, we'll do times equals shoe. What that's going to do is it's going to times their height by their shoe size, and then it's going to store the value of that multiplication in the height variable. Remember, in programming, the variable name is on the right-hand side, or basically the bucket we're going to put this data into is on the left-hand side, sorry. And then on the other side of the equal sign, we're going to have whatever operation is going to happen. So height is going to store the height times shoe size when that operation is done running. Okay. Now I think we can actually, let's go ahead and calculate their lucky number. Oh, I didn't actually use gender. Oh, you know what we can do? I actually have an idea. All right, let's add all of these values together. Excuse me. Weight, height. Yeah, let's add all those together. And then let's divide it by gender. Okay. So if they've entered, 3, it'll be divided by 3. 2, it's divided by 2. Or 1, it's, divided by 1. Okay, perfect. So that right there, that's the algorithm for determining your lucky number. If you didn't know, that's just science right there. All right, output. System.out.print. Print line. I'm almost done, and I just completely stopped being able to type. All right, good news. This is where we'll use their name variable that we grabbed all the way in the beginning of the program. Name equals your lucky number is, and then we will output lucky. Okay. I think that's the entire program. I think we've pretty much done it, right? So let's go ahead and run it and make sure it works. Now, I'm not going to put in my actual personal details in here, or maybe I will. My name is Percy. Let's see. Am I a female, male, or non-binary? I am male. How old am I? I am 84 years young. How tall are you? I am 4'2". How much do you weigh? 402 pounds. And what is your shoe size? My shoe size is a 13.5. Good news, Percy. Your lucky number is 226.35. Woohoo! Now I'm going to go play the lottery. And as we entered, if we were to run this again and then enter different numbers, obviously we'd get a different output, right? We'd get a different number from that. So yeah, that's basically, again, I just kind of made this up as I went. Yours can literally be anything else. Like, as long as you are bringing in different data types, you are, or as long as you're creating variables of different types, you are bringing in those different data types using the scanner. You are doing some kind of math and then outputting the result. Then you're doing the assignment, right? Okay, perfect. I think that's where I'm going to end it. If you guys have any questions or need any help, let me know. But this is going to be a fun assignment. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. All right, see you later.